World War II was the most destructive war in human history. Many major cities were left in ruins after it ended. Even today, most global politics and international relations link back to this war. In today's video, I've attempted to explain the complete story of World War II, from beginning to end. What exactly happened, why did it happen, and what was the result? This is the story of World War II. It's hard to say that one single event started this war. Instead, it was a chain of events that came together and lit the fire of war. The Treaty of Versailles, known as the world's most hated treaty, started World War II in 1939. The whole world stood against Hitler and his beliefs. Let's begin in 1919, the year World War I ended. That's when the Treaty of Versailles was signed. It included a key part, Article 231. This said that Germany alone was responsible for all the damages caused by WWI. It's often called the War Guilt Clause because it blamed Germany entirely for the war, even though many countries were involved. France and Britain wanted Germany to pay a heavy price for losing. They wanted to recover their damages. So under the treaty, Germany had to pay $33 billion in fines. In today's value, that's about $270 billion. This was such a big amount that Germany made the final payment only in 2010. It took nearly 100 years. Where did the money come from? From German citizens, of course. Germany made its first payment in 1921. After that, Germany suffered from hyperinflation. Their currency, the German mark, lost value fast. In 1922, a loaf of bread in Berlin cost 160 marks. By 1923, it cost 200 marks. The economy collapsed and unemployment soared. In this situation, Adolf Hitler came into the picture, a young leader, good at stirring emotions with his speeches. In 1923, Hitler's Nazi party tried to overthrow the government in a failed coup, but it made Hitler more popular. False stories spread that Germany's defeat and shame were caused by anti-national groups. People were upset and easy to influence. Hitler blamed Jews and socialists for Germany's downfall. Over the next 10 years, hate-filled propaganda spread, media was controlled, and hateful speeches were common. Then came the Great Depression in 1929. Unemployment got worse. By 1933, 6 million Germans had no jobs. Many were homeless. Kids were starving. That year, Hitler became Germany's dictator. With full control, he chased his dream of a pure German empire, called the German Reich, where only Aryan people could live. No Jews, no Slavs. To spread hate, he promoted a false theory, Judeo-Bolshevism. According to this, the 1917 Russian Revolution was the work of Jews, which led to the Soviet Union. In 1935, the world found out that Germany had created an air force. It might sound normal today, but the Treaty of Versailles had banned this, so this was a direct violation. Still, many in Britain thought the treaty was too harsh on Germany. It banned Germany from having a military and forced it to pay huge sums. In June 1935, Britain signed the Anglo-German Naval Agreement, allowing Germany to build a navy, but France got worried about Germany's growing military. France built a 450 kilometers defensive wall on their border called the Maginot Line. In 1938, when Hitler felt ready, he looked at Austria. He wanted all German-speaking countries united. He didn't just want land for pride, but also for resources. He wanted to give his superior Aryan people more living space, which is known as Lebensraum in Dutch language. In February 1938, Hitler met Austrian Chancellor Kurt Schuschnigg and forced him to allow Nazis into the Austrian government. One was Dr. Hans Fischberg, made finance minister. First thing he did to release all the jailed Nazis. Soon, Austria was under Nazi influence. The Chancellor decided to hold a national vote. Should Austria stay independent or unite with Nazi Germany? Hitler, fearing the vote's result, sent in his army. The Austrian Chancellor resigned to avoid bloodshed. Hitler used propaganda to spread fake news of riots and blamed the communists. The Austrian government, under pressure, asked Germany for help. Next day, the Austrian parliament was dissolved. Austria stopped being an independent nation. All this happened with Austrians without a war. Many Austrians actually welcomed Hitler, believing he would make their country strong. Next, Hitler looked at Czechoslovakia. On its border was the Sudetenland region, which was home to about 3 million Germans. Hitler used this as an excuse to claim the land. British PM Neville Chamberlain has to get involved in that situation. He wanted peace, not war. He thought giving Hitler what he wanted might stop future conflict. So, in September 1938, the Munich Agreement was signed. "This Czechoslovak issue is settled," said Chamberlain. "Now Europe will have peace." In Chamberlain's point of view, Hitler got the Sudetenland in return for a promise not to seek more land. But within a year, in March 1939, he broke the agreement and invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia. But Germany won that war easily. The country was split in two. One part became German territory, the other a puppet state called the Slovak Republic. Chamberlain faced heavy criticism. Winston Churchill said this was bound to happen. Now Hitler looked at Poland. To invade Poland, he secretly signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union in 1939. Though Hitler hated communism, this deal suited both. They would each take a share of Poland. On the 1st of September 1939, nearly 1 million German soldiers moved into Poland from both the north and south. Britain and France warned Hitler. If he invaded Poland, they'd declare war. Hitler ignored them. Britain declared war on Germany. Then France, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Canada followed. But the war didn't really begin right away. This phase is called the phony war. Means no actual fighting happened at first. None of these countries helped Poland directly. Poland's army was outdated, still using horses. Against Germany's advanced tactics, it stood no chance. 1.3 million soldiers were called in, but within days, Germany defeated them. On the 8th of September 1939, Poland fell. Here, Hitler used a new war strategy, which is known as Blitzkrieg, means lightning war. It was all about new tactic to impose war in speed and surprise. This method to start off with tanks to invade first, followed by air attacks, Luftwaffe, called in Dutch language. The wars ended in days by these tactics by Germany back in the days. To keep up the Blitzkrieg pace, German soldiers were given a drug called Pervitin. This drug now known as crystal meth. This drug removed tiredness, hunger and sleep. It kept soldiers alert for days. Though it is harmful in long term, but it helped in short and fast wars to achieve desired results. Let's go back to Poland. Germany invaded from the west and the Soviet Union from the east. Poland was split between them. The Soviets said it had once been their land anyway. But Joseph Stalin, the president of Soviet Union, also feared Germany might attack Finland next. The city of Leningrad, where he lived, was close to Finland. So before Germany could act, Stalin made demands. Finland refused to fulfill his demands. War broke out. Though the Soviet army was bigger, Finland resisted for over 2 months. In March 1940, the Moscow Peace Treaty was signed. Finland gave up 11% of its land. Meanwhile, Hitler looked to Norway and Denmark. In April 1940, he used Blitzkrieg to invade both. They couldn't resist. Norway's government fled to London and set up a government in exile. In Norway, a pro-Nazi puppet government was installed. Britain's PM Chamberlain admitted failure and resigned on the 10th of May 1940. Winston Churchill became Prime Minister. That same day, Hitler attacked France, Belgium, the Netherlands and Luxembourg. Full war had begun. French Maginot Line was ready for defense. British and French forces guarded Belgium and Luxembourg. Germany used Blitzkrieg again. Over 1,000 bombers and 3 million ground troops. This was called the Battle of France. Germany had 3 groups, A, B and C. Group B attacked the Netherlands and entered Belgium. Group C attacked the Maginot Line as a distraction. Group A had the secret plan. They went through the Ardennes forest, a place French experts believed was impossible to cross. But over 40,000 German vehicles went through. By the 15th of May, they captured Sedan in France and surprised the British army from behind. 400,000 Allied troops were trapped at Dunkirk. The only way out was by sea to rescue the trapped troops. Winston Churchill launched Operation Dynamo, the largest evacuation in military history. The German army fired from land. Their air force attacked from the sky. But British aircrafts gave cover, civilians with fishing boats helped rescue, and soldiers helped one another on the beach. You can watch all this in the movie Dunkirk. How all this happened. By the 4th of June 1940, 350,000 soldiers were rescued, but most of their equipment was lost. On the 22nd of June 1940, France surrendered. Italy's dictator Mussolini had joined Hitler, forming the Pact of Steel. Italy and Germany declared war on Britain and France on the 10th of June. By July 1940, Hitler had taken over Austria, Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands and France. Only Britain and the Soviet Union remained. Germany had a peace deal with the Soviets. Hitler thought they wouldn't fight. Did America join the war? America hadn't joined the war yet. After WWI, it avoided European conflicts. Had the war stopped then, Hitler would have won. But the situation changed, and Britain pushed back. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight in the fields. We shall never surrender. Emphasized by British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more epic stories from around the world.